Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sikich Live. Thanks for being with us today on this Thursday here. I'm coming to you from beautiful, sunny Chicago. Just had a nice few days in the 70s, right? Now we're getting back to that cold winter feel. So as we cozy up in our homes, we're talking a little bit today about GP to BC. This is a really, this has been a hot topic for a lot of our clients and a lot of different companies and organizations that we're working for that are currently on GP and have just so many questions about moving on to the next cloud product, what that cloud product looks like, and if it should be possibly Microsoft Dynamics BC, which we definitely think is a great option for anyone coming from Dynamics GP. And reasons for that include migration tools, staying within the Microsoft Dynamics family. So we want to expand upon that a little bit. Next week, next Thursday, we're going to talk all about GP to BC much more in depth. But today, I want to put on a replay that we did. We did this video. This was our very first video, that Sikich Live that we did all the way back in, I want to say it was April or May. So bringing this to you to get you up to date and everything GP to BC. And then join us next week when we have Andrew Campworth on to discuss a little game that we're going to play called Fact or Fiction. That'll talk a lot about the content that's on this live today. And of course, don't forget to make sure to like and subscribe, sign up for these notifications, and we are happy to have you here. So thanks. I'm going to kick this replay off, and hopefully I'll see everybody next week for Fact or Fiction GP to BC. Thanks for joining. Enjoy. So let's get into it. With COVID-19 happening, many organizations are coming to us with current issues that they're having with on-premise or legacy systems, and they really just don't work well for the new work from home normal. And we really want to help them. So right now, one solution we're really recommending is Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. And I've got one of our experts here on Business Central with us. And so I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about what Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is. You might hear us call it BC, for D365 BC, a little acronym for it. And so curious about what features they have, what features it has, how it's helpful and useful to organizations of many industries and sizes.
Yeah, good question. It's hard to think about where to begin. So as Michael said, Dynamics 365 Business Central or BC 365, whatever acronym you want to use, was released April 2018 from Microsoft. So Dynamics 365 BC was born. It came out of originally the Microsoft Nav, Dynamics Nav code base, and they basically turned it into a new cloud base or SaaS offering, if you've heard that term, software as a service. So BC was born. Essentially, it includes all of your standard ERP features that you would think of, things like payables, receivables, inventory, very robust functionality around manufacturing, jobs. And then where it really kind of sets itself apart is how it embeds itself in the Microsoft ecosystem. So how it connects directly with things like Outlook, things like Power BI. You've heard of Microsoft Flow, which is now Power Automate, really allowing all of those things to talk together. Other big things for Business Central are integrations, a very powerful API where you can push and pull data from other systems, makes reporting very easy. And one of the other things that is included, really you think of dimensions. So other systems or other ERPs have a very fixed chart of accounts, and Business Central, just like Nav, includes dimensions, which allow you to slice and dice your chart of accounts very easily and very seamlessly to make that reporting much easier. I could probably go on and on, but I think those are some of the high-level features, things to think about when you think of BC.
Yeah, absolutely. Is BC something that is for all industries, all different size companies? Kind of, how does it break down there?
Yeah, it's definitely a fit for almost anyone. You think of where it does fit really well is in the distribution space, within the financial sector. Again, very powerful in all around manufacturing. So it can be a fit, and it can be customized to be a fit really in any industry that we think of.
Excellent. You know, like I mentioned before, there's lots of people that are on legacy systems, people that are really looking to get into the cloud now. So one thing that a lot of our clients currently have is Microsoft Dynamics GP, and a lot of them are coming to us and asking questions about how to migrate to BC, what that might look like. And I was wondering if you might be able to talk to us a little bit about why that's a good idea and how it can be possible.
Yeah, definitely. So Microsoft changed their support platform or their support plan for Dynamics GP just within the last year. Dynamics GP is now on what's called a modern lifecycle. So on that latest version of GP, you only receive support for 1 year until you're forced to essentially upgrade again, so you can be supported by Microsoft. So all clients are now kind of weighing this decision on, should I continue with Dynamics GP? Should I upgrade year after year? Or should I look at a different product, such as Business Central? So we've been having this conversation over and over again, it seems, with clients, and just kind of weighing the pros and cons. There's not a one-size-fits-all on whether you should move now or whether you should stay where you're at. But Business Central's come so far, and that it's really such a powerful and robust platform that it can handle anyone that is ready to move. So for those that are, there's a couple options. One thing is that some clients think it may be similar to an upgrade, and unfortunately it's not. You're not upgrading your ERP. You're moving to an entirely new platform. But there are tools to make that easier. Microsoft has now a GP to BC migration tool that allows us to pull data from their current system GP and move it into Business Central. So it allows us to very seamlessly take things like your accounts, your customers, your vendors, some of your history, and move it over to Business Central. For those where that's not a fit, and it may not be a fit for all of them, some clients kind of want to restructure things as they move. We can take that data and bring it into Business Central in other ways. So again, it is an implementation. You are implementing a new product, but there are tools, resources, a partner such as us at your disposal to make that process very.
Excellent. Yeah, no, thank you so much for that. So one thing that we're also hearing is a lot of our GP customers or legacy system customers, they're using a lot of perhaps outdated reporting tools. For instance, Management Reporter, which sounds like it's going to be sunsetted soon, if I'm correct there. And so curious about what that transition might look like, especially with how important reporting tools are right now. And with COVID-19 happening and everyone working from home currently, how does collaboration, workflows, approvals work in those types of systems as well too? So I know that's a whole long question, but really just kind of curious about that reporting aspect of it.
Yeah, definitely. So as far as reporting, yeah, another big common. So a few years ago, they basically, I like to use the term blacklisted. They basically said MR is going to stay where it's at, but you're no longer getting updates or bug fixes. So again, should I be looking at other solutions? Whether you're on Dynamics GP or Business Central, the two solutions that we are really pushing at Sikich, number one is Jet. Jet Reports is from Insight Software. Jet Reports is an Excel-based tool, so it's very intuitive, user-friendly, lets you create the same financial statements that you're used to within MR. Also lets you do other things beyond MR. You can do operational reports like sales data. You can share reports through a Jet Hub, through like a web portal. Allows you to collaborate easily. You think about being at home now with COVID going on, it makes it very easy to share and distribute reports. Jet also has Jet Analytics, which is their enterprise offering. It even brings to the table things like a data warehouse, data cubes, really takes reporting to the next level. And then on the other side of the fence, the second offering or option that we look at is Solver, which is a more robust tool. We kind of think of it as, if you've heard the term CPM or corporate performance management, very more complex capabilities that allow you to do more reporting, budgeting, forecasting, all in one solution. So for the clients that need a little bit more to replace MR and kind of take things to the next level, Solver tends to be a good option too.
Excellent, yeah, and curious, I know a lot of people are using Power BI right now. Is it possible to integrate the Solver data warehouse with Power BI so that those two can work together?
Yeah, good question. I think I was having this conversation just the other day on a client saying, well, I've got Power BI. Why can't I use that for my financial statements? And the bottom line is you can. There's no reason you can't use it, but it's really not designed for that. Power BI is a data visualization tool, allowing you to take the data and bring it into a chart, graph, KPI type of dashboard. So it really actually works really well with something like Jet or Solver, in the fact that Jet and Solver pull the data from your ERP system, manipulate the data, and then Power BI can be used to present the data in a really nice, pretty fashion, essentially. So again, the two tools work kind of hand in hand together.
Great, excellent. Yeah, and curious about Business Central licensing. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what that looks like?
Yeah, one big difference is, especially when you're talking to clients, Dynamics GP clients that are used to concurrent licensing, which means if you have 5 concurrent GP licenses, you could have 100 users set up, but only 5 users can be logged in at the same time. So the difference is with Business Central and with other Microsoft 365 offerings is that it's a named license. So if Michael's a user, Michael needs a license, or if Andrew's a user, Andrew needs a license. You need a license for each individual that's going to be logging into the system. There's a couple couple different options out there for licenses. The two primary ones are an Essentials license, which is priced very reasonably at $70 per month per user. That's really a full license. So letting you log in, process transactions, just like any other user would within Dynamics GP. And then there's a team member user, which is priced at, I believe, $10 per user per month. That's a view-only user or someone really interacting with the workflow. Maybe it's your CFO who's just reviewing and approving invoices, for example. So those licenses are priced much lower. So you can kind of pick and choose for each type of user which license really fits best.
And one thing that I think is really neat that I wanted to touch on real quick is Microsoft App Source. So I'm interested to hear what you know about Microsoft App Source, and especially for GP clients or other legacy on-premise systems that don't have an app store to go to, kind of like on your phone. It's a cool app store. But Business Central and these cloud platforms have independent software vendors, or ISVs as we like to call them, have apps that already work with the system. Curious if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, definitely. So you made the kind of the relation, Michael, when you think of like on your phone, the app store, like the Apple App Store, for example, really the same thing. Microsoft has released this app source for Business Central and for some of their other cloud offerings. So instead of with a product like Dynamics GP, having to go out and talk to an ISV vendor directly, to work with your partner, to search for different offerings out there, and to work with them to install it, to train, to configure, you can actually on your own go out to App Source. You can search for what you're looking for. Let's say something like multi-entity. Maybe you're looking for a product to make managing your multiple entities within Business Central easier. You could go out there, search for that product, and you'll find something. In this case, you'll find something from Binary Stream, who has an ISV offering for multi-entity management, and you could review it. You can actually install it in a demo environment. You can read reviews about it. There's really a ton of information directly at your fingertips via App Source.
Excellent, yeah. So shout out right now to all of our GP users and people that are watching us live right now. Curious, there's updates coming out with GP. There is new roadmaps that are coming out, and just curious about what you think about either upgrading to GP or moving on to a cloud solution. What is Sikich really recommending right now?
Yeah, the first thing is Sikich is recommending that you at least take a step back and have the conversation. Let's talk about what you're doing now, how you're using Dynamics GP, what the future of your business is, what you see as far as cloud offerings, if you're looking at other cloud offerings throughout the business, and really get an overall sense of where your business is at from a technology standpoint. And then truly, for most companies, it makes sense to at least start to look at these cloud solutions. That's where Microsoft and others are really pushing new features. They're pushing things like, again, embedded integrations with other Microsoft products, easier reporting, easier integrations. So there's a ton of benefit, a ton of things you can gain from moving to the cloud. So we're finding that once you kind of open people's eyes to what's out there, it's really an easy conversation to have and to look at. So what Sikich is also doing is we are working with clients when they're interested to do what we call a business process alignment. So it gives us a chance to kind of go out, review what they're doing now from a system and a process standpoint, let's say around Dynamics GP, and decide how we'd make that work with a cloud solution like Business Central. So really design out a whole solution for them around the ERP offering and present it back to them and basically saying in the end, this is what we see you're doing now with Dynamics GP. This is how we can not only make that work with Business Central, but really make everything more streamlined, more seamless. We can really improve the overall business and the overall platform.
Excellent. Yeah, I think you you got my segue there. I was trying to go into that business process alignment and all of those different types of engagement that we do when we start these types of implementations. So this has all been really excellent. I'm really excited that we were able to get together and talk a little bit more about this. I think there's a lot of information going out right now about what GP is doing, what's sunsetting, what's doing this. GP isn't going anywhere. And, I want to reiterate that. And Sikich is always here to support our GP clients, of course. But the cloud options in this day and age are becoming more and more important to lots of organizations. And I think that this new work from home model and this new pandemic maybe had pushed people in that direction a little bit more. So I'm glad that we could talk a little bit and get some more information about the options that are out there. So Andrew, I wanted to thank you for being here appreciate this. And hopefully we can have you on again.
Yeah, would love to.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew.